Welcome to my channel, where we explore the timeless treasures of Italian's historic cities. After diving into the iconic architecture and ancient sites of Florence, we are thrilled to launch a new series starting today, shining a spotlight on the eternal city, Rome. Get ready to uncover its legendary past and the magnificent landmarks. First, let me talk about the history of Rome, from seven hills to eternal city. Rome, the eternal city, stands as a monument to human ambition, resilience, and creativity, from a legendary founding on seven hills to its role as the capital of a unified Italy. Rome's story spans nearly 3 millennia, weaving together myth, conquest, faith, and art. Its streets layered with the stones of emperors and popes, whisper tales of triumph and turmoil. Let us journey through Rome's history from its origins in 753 BC to the 19th century, meeting the figures who shaped it and marveling at the structures that endure. Second, the dawn of Rome, the kingdom, 753 to 509 BC. Rome's story begins with a myth as vivid as it is improbable. In 753 BC, legend claims twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, raised by a she-wolf, founded a settlement on the Palatine Hill. Romulus, after a fatal dispute with his brother, named the city after himself and became its first king. While the tale is more poetry than fact, archaeological evidence confirms earlier settlements on Rome's seven hills, strategically positioned along the Tiber River for trade and defense. These hills, Palatine, Aventine, Capitoline, and others, cradled the fledgling city, destined for greatness. For over 2 centuries, 7 kings ruled Rome, transforming it from a cluster of hunts into a structured society. Romulus, a semi-mythical warrior, laid the foundations of governance and relations. His successor, Numa Pompilius, brought peace and established priestly orders, embedding spirituality into Roman life. The kings built earlier fortifications and temples, with remnants still visible on the Palatine Hill. Yet, by 509 BC, the Romans grew weary of mourning king. The tyrannical Taco, the proud, was expelled, and the Roman Republic was born, a bold experiment in shared power. Next, I will present the major events, key historical figures, and famous ancient buildings from this period, so that everyone can gain a clean understanding at a glance. Third, the Roman Republic, raised to power, 509 to 27 BC. Republic marked Rome's ascent from city to state to Mediterranean juggernaut, replacing kings with elected consuls and a powerful senate. Romans crafted a system that balanced ambition with accountability, though not without flaws. The early republic faced external threats, most dramatically in 390 BC, when Gauls invaded and sacked the city. The devastation spurred resilience. Rome rebuilt, fortified its walls, and vowed never again to be so vulnerable. The Republic's defining struggle came in the Punic Wars, 264 to 146 BC, a trilogy of conflicts against Carthage, a North Africa powerhouse. Carthage's general Hannibal, a military prodigy, marched elephants over the Alps, threatening Rome's heart. Yet Roman general Scipio Africanus turned the tide, defeating Hannibal's at Zamo in 202 BC. By 146 BC, Carthage was reached, and Rome claimed the Mediterranean as its own, a Rome lake of commerce and conquest. Internally, Rome grappled with inequality. In 73 BC, Spartacus, a gladiator turned rebel, led a massive slave uprising, exposing the Republic's social fractures. His defeat only delays deeper tensions. Enter Julius Caesar, a charismatic general whose questions in Gaul and flee for politics made him a legend. By 49 BC, Caesar crossed the Rubicon River, defying the Senate and sparking civil war. His victory made him dictator, but his invasion proved fatal. In 44 BC, betrayed by allies, Caesar was assassinated in the Senate, a legal field end to the Republic's stability. The Roman Forum, Boschilla in Bulia and Curia, centers of political life, brought witness to these seismic shifts. In this section, I will present the major events, key historical figures, and famous surviving monuments from this period for your easy understanding and appreciation. Among these, the most significant events are the Punic Wars and the assassination of Julius Caesar, both of which had profound and lasting impacts on the history of Rome and the world. Fourth, the Roman Empire, glory and decline, 27 BC to 476 AD. From the Republic's ashes rose the Roman Empire, inaugurated in 27 BC in Octavian, Caesar's heir, who took the title Augustus, a master of propaganda and governance. Augustus clothed absolute power in republican trappings, ushering in the Pax Romana, a 200-year era of relative peace and prosperity. Rome transformed into a marble-clad metropolis, boasting the Pantheon with its celestial dome and the Colosseum, where gladiators battled before rolling clouds. Under Trajan, the empire reached its zenith in 117 AD, stretching from Britain to Mesopotamia, a testament to Roman engineering and ambition. Not all emperors matched Augustus' famous. Nero, ruling during the Great Fair of 64 AD, was blamed, perhaps unfairly, for torching Rome. The fair cleared the space for rebuilding, including Nero's opulent Golden House, though his reputation never recovered. More enduring was the Caracalla Baths, a sprawling complex of leisure and hygiene, relation to shaped Rome's course. In 313 AD, Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity with the Edict of Milan, enriching the Arch of Stantini to mark his victories. His relocation to Constantinople, however, left Rome vulnerable. In the 5th century, the Western Empire crumbled under economic strain and barbarian invasions. In 476 AD, the dramatic chieftain Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus, the last Western empire, ending the era. Yet Rome, though diminished, endured. Its forms and temples, like the Pantheon, standing as relics of lost glory. In the following section, I will highlight the major events, influential figures, and the iconic architectural achievements of the Roman imperial period. Among the most significant milestones are the rise of Rome's first emperor, Augustus, legalization of Christianity under Emperor Constantine, and the eventual fall of the Western Roman Empire. As for architecture, the most renowned monuments from this era include the awe-inspiring Pantheon and the mighty Colosseum, lasting symbols of Rome engineering, culture, and power. Together, these events and structures define one of the most influential periods in world history. Fifth, the Middle Ages and the Renaissance. Faith and Rebirth, 476 to 1600. The fall of the Western Empire plunged Rome into a dark age. The once vibrant capital became a shadow of itself. Its aqueducts broken, its forum graced by livestock. Yet the church emerged as Rome's salvation. By the 6th century, Byzantine Emperor Justinian briefly reclaimed the city, but it was the papacy that truly revived Rome's fortunes. In 800 AD, Pope Leo III crowned Charlemagne Holy Roman Emperor, fostering a new Christian empire with Rome as its spiritual heart. The Middle Ages tested Rome's resilience. From 1309 to 1377, Popes abandoned the city for Avignon, leaving Rome to decay. The return of the papacy sparked the Renaissance literally. By the 15th century, Rome became a crucible of art and ideas. Pope Julius II commissioned the rebuilding of St. Peter's Basilica, a Colosseum project that drew geniuses like Michelangelo, whose Sistine Chapel frescoes, painted with graduating brilliance, defined art. Raphael, another Renaissance titan, adorned the Vatican with frescoes while designing elephant structures. Rome, once a ruin, was reborn as a pilgrimage site and a cultural beacon, its skyline crowned by St. Peter's majestic dome. During this time, Rome entered one of its most fascinating chapters. The Pope wasn't just a spiritual leader anymore. He became a major force in shaping the city's future. Then came the Renaissance, and with it, an explosion of creativity. Brilliant minds like Raphael and Michelangelo transformed Rome into a living masterpiece. Their work gave us legendary landmarks like St. Peter's Basilica and the Sistine Temple buildings that still leave visitors speechless today. 6th, early modern Rome, Baroque splendor and unification, 1600 to 1870. By the 17th century, Rome and the papal rule embraced the Baroque, a style of exuberance and drama. John Lorenzo Bernini, a sculptor and architect of a paralleled flair, reshaped the city. Fountains in Piazza Navona and the colonnades of St. Peter's Square turned Rome into a stage for faith and beauty. The Spanish Steps and the Trevi Fountain, later additions, added to the city's romantic allure. Political storms loomed, however. In 1809, Napoleon Bonaparte occupied Rome, exiling the Pope and declared the city a French possession. His audacity was short-lived. By 1814, papal rule was resourced. The 18th century brought a greater upheaval, Italian unification. Giuseppe Garibaldi, a fiery revolutionary, led campaigns to unite Italy, culminating in 1870 when its forces captured Rome. The external city, long a papal fiefdom, became the capital of a new Italy, its ancient stones now bearing the weight of a modern nation. In the era of early modern Rome, the city continued to play a dramatic role in European history. Napoleon once seized control of Rome, shaking the balance of power in the region. Later, Rome became the capital of a unified Italy, marking a turning point in its modern identity. Piazza Navona also stood out during this period, built over an ancient Roman stadium and transformed into a stunning Baroque showpiece. With its grand fountains, elegant palaces, and vibrant atmosphere, it captured the spirit of a city where history and rebirth worked hand in hand. Rome wasn't just a relic of the past, it had become a symbol of a new, united future. Conclusion: Rome's history is a tapestry of human endeavor, from the warm-nursed dreams of Romulus to the refined Italy of 1870. Its streets have horsed kings like Numa, generals like Caesar, emperors like Constantine, artists like Michelangelo, and rebels like Garibaldi. Landmarks: the Colosseum, Pantheon, St. Peter's, stand as a testament to a city that has weathered conquest, ruin, and rebirth. Rome is not merely a place, but a story, one that invited us to walk its cobblestones and marvel at its eternity. As the saying goes, all roads lead to Rome, and once there, the city's past whispers its secrets to all who listen. Alright, that's it for Rome's epic journey. For now, from a small village to a vast empire, it has been quite the ride. Thanks for sticking with me. In the next episode, I will explore some of Rome's most iconic ancient buildings and uncover the stories hiding in their stones. Don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.